What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you don't love the content, you could still do those things because you could always help a brother out, and you know a brother would help you out. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our excellent content. You want to comment. You know why? Because I will reply, because ball is life. Make sure that you hang on towards the end of this video because we have some other suggested videos through the form of playlists that we know you will love. Oh boy, here we go again. So CBS Sports, another controversial, did I say that right? Another controversial list. Top 25 of the 21st century of NBA players. And it just seems like they're just going to keep doing this for the rest of their lives. All of these cowards who make all these lists, I've already done the research for you. I've already done the work. If you look at what I showed you with the Bleacher Report people, it's the same weirdos. If I looked up the people that made this list, I'm sure they look ridiculous. They look like they never bounced a basketball a day in their life. They probably look like that one lady with the red hair and the very shiny, oily, pale skin who I showed you from Bleacher Report, Nancy Armour or something like that. She looks ridiculous. They probably look similar to her. These are not real people. And something I want to, before I go over this list, I just want you to understand something about these people, okay? I've recently started getting more and more into AI. And hopefully that'll actually even do some good things for me with this channel and, you know, updating some things and doing some cooler things. But at the end of the day, I actually love what I'm doing, right? So I love talking about sports. I love talking about basketball. I love talking about football. I love talking about sports in general. I love talking about life. I like talking about how sports relate to life. There's other things I like talking about that I just kind of stay away from because maybe they're too opinionative or too political, and I don't really want to go down that route. You know what I mean? But, you know, I have thoughts and opinions on what it takes to be a man, how you should be a husband, how you should be a father, what mothers should do. I have all types of opinions on things, and I'm not afraid to share them. However, this channel is mainly just for sports, so I try to stick as closely to that as possible unless whatever the outside topic is has something to do that I can somehow relate or tie to sports. But with that said, what I'm really trying to say is that, you know, these people, they don't have a love for this stuff. I don't think these people like basketball. I don't think they care. I think they like money. And I think whatever they can do or say to make a controversial list, they don't care who they have to piss off. They don't care about Kobe Bryant, even though he lost his life in a tragic accident, and his daughter and those other beautiful young ladies and their parents. They don't give a dang about that. They just want to be controversial. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about honesty. They don't care about really understanding the game beyond the box scores. So they make these dumb lists, these dumb butt lists. With that said, just get your head into that space and that mindset. Let's move forward amicably. Basically, when you look at this, all right, LeBron James is at the top of this list again. Oh my God. Steph Curry is second. Tim Duncan is third. Nikola Jokic, the Joker, Jokic, whichever way, he's fourth. Shaq's 5. Kobe is 6. Giannis 7. Durant is 8. Garnett 9. Dirk 10. Wade 11. CP3 12. Kawhi Leonard 13. So when I have to really look at this list and think about it. But to start with, let's just start at the top. LeBron should not be number one. And I don't care what anybody says. And people can say, oh, you just hate LeBron. You're always obsessed with knocking him down. And the truth is, I don't hate him to the point where I want to see something bad happen to him or where I want something bad to happen to his family. I would never wish that upon the man. He's not a terrorist. He's not worthy of that. But does he get on my nerves, and do I think he's somewhat overrated? Oh, of course. Here's the first thing you need to realize. How did he get to the list? And I'm going to keep telling you guys this. I made a video about being 4-6 in the finals. Let's stop overlooking that. They don't want you to talk about that because the moment you start talking about that, you realize there's no way this ninja should be number one. So I'll start there. 4-6. Steph Curry's 4-2. Tim Duncan's 5-1. 4-1 in the 21st century because his first ring came in '99. All right. So, but he still had 4 rings and only lost once in the finals in the 21st century. Joker has 1 ring, just one. Just one. A lot of stats, 1 ring. Not really a great defender, 1 ring. Okay? And I love Joker. That's my guy. I was a Nuggets fan as far as like liking them and rooting for them and believing in them before he became a world champion. Now, do I like them like I like the Lakers when LeBron's not there? Absolutely not. That's not even my second or third favorite team, honestly. But I like Joker. I like Murray. And I think they're good. But one of his weaknesses, no defense. 0. Shaq. Shaq has 3 finals MVPs, which to me, you choose who you choose. He has 1 regular season MVP. But he has 4 rings, man. How the heck? How is Joker on top of him? Duncan and Steph, I can see. Even LeBron because of the obsession people have with him. But Joker right now, I'm not saying Joker can't be better than him, but right now, absolutely not. Kobe at number 6 is disgusting. He has 5 rings in the 21st century. Didn't need a super team to get him. Only lost 2. Had a 3-peat. Him and Shaq had a 3-peat. Kobe also had a 2-peat. Lost to a super team to keep him from having another 3-peat and tie Michael Jordan. Won the head-to-head with Tim Duncan. Led the Olympic team when Tim Duncan failed and never went back. Steph only has 4. And statistically, if you're going to talk about stats, Kobe is over Steph. Statistically, he has more stats than Steph. More feats as far as that. Points, rebounds, assists, whatever you want, right? So you can't just say it's the stats. So how is it that Kobe is 6? This list is stupid. Kobe should be 1. And actually, Tim Duncan should be 2nd. Followed by Steph or Shaq, in my opinion. And LeBron should be like 6th. 5th. Because I think Joker and everybody else should be behind him. I guess. But, yeah. Giannis is fine at 7. I don't hate Giannis at 7. I'm cool with that. Durant at 8. Yeah, but to me, I would move Dirk. I would move Dirk up to 8 and drop Kevin Durant maybe to 9 and then Kevin Garnett to 10. That's what I would do. Because I've never had, I don't know if I did a video on this yet, but I will at some point because I've actually been seeing people talk about this as far as the argument between Dirk and Kevin. Now, neither one of them were as good as Tim Duncan, but to me, Dirk is the 2nd best power forward of all time, in my opinion. And I'm not going to get into that fully right now because I'll do a video on that, and that way, hopefully you'll watch the video. I have to just make a note in my mind. In fact, I'll put that on my list here of videos to do in the future. Dirk versus Garnett. So I'll keep that. I will keep that in mind there. Dirk versus Garnett. As far as, but I do think Dirk won a championship, went to the finals twice, lost one, won the other one against, had one of the best runs we've ever seen, and beat the super team Miami Heat in their first year. So Dirk's a bad boy. Don't get it twisted. Kevin Garnett never did anything like that. Had to join a super team to get his ring. Right? Now, it was different. It wasn't quite like what LeBron James did. So me personally, I could do a video on that too. In fact, I should at some point. The difference between the Heat and the Celtics. Neither was great because they cost my Lakers a championship in '08. But there's a difference there. And I'll make a note to do a video on that at some point. But I do think Dirk should have the edge over Garnett and Durant. Wade at 11. It's a tough one, man. I think, it's really sad what happened to Dwayne Wade. Prime Dwayne Wade is better than actually a lot of these guys, man. But he sold his soul. Him and LeBron joined up, and he sold his soul like LeBron did, and you just ruined your career. Everybody that joins LeBron James ruins their career, and that's just the facts of it. He's going to get all the credit. He's going to be loved. The adulation for him is going to be disgusting, borderline sus, and everybody else is, going to be chopped liver. Whether you're Dwayne, Kyrie, AD, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Russ. Y'all saw what happened to Russ. Russ was making $40 million a year. Went to LeBron, barely can get a job now. Took the Wizards to the playoffs for the first time in a minute after John Wall went down. No love because of LeBron. So, y'all already know how that goes. Chris Paul at 12, Kawhi Leonard at 13. And actually, I didn't finish with Dwayne Wade. I guess Dwayne Wade could stay there for now. I guess he could stay there. But ultimately, in his prime, to me... Actually, no. Bump that, bro. Bump that. I got Dwayne Wade over Garnett and Durant. And I didn't really explain my stance on Durant. Listen, I'm not a big LeBron or Durant fan. I don't discriminate. I know a lot of LeBron fans can't stand Kevin Durant because he joined the Warriors and messed up this little love fest LeBron was trying to have with the city of Cleveland. But ultimately, to me, Kevin Durant is just an opportunist, man. He doesn't really want to work hard. I've heard comments where he's like, yeah, I kind of just want to play smart basketball. Who cares about smart basketball or right basketball? You got to go out there and give it your all to win, sir. It's not supposed to be easy or convenient, and it just seems like he wants easy and convenient. And I don't know him personally, but I do know he was engaged one time, and he blew that off, and ever since then, supposedly, he's been hanging out with, IG models and stuff like that. And does that make him much different than anybody else? Maybe not necessarily. But, relationships are hard. And what do you know? He ran from that. Ran from the Thunder. Won on the Warriors, then ran from that because somebody called him the B word. Ran from the Nets after messing that up. And it wasn't really all on him. I'll give him that one. But he definitely destroyed the Suns and ran from that. So I'm like, bro, like, I'm not idolizing Kevin Durant like a lot of people do. A lot of people give him a lot of credit for doing the bare minimum, in my opinion. Stats wise, again, yes, he's a crazy stat guy. Beat the crap out of LeBron James, made him look average and normal in the finals. I get all of that, but he has not been able to duplicate that without a light-skinned warrior next to him. The king of the light-skinned warriors. So I don't give Kevin Durant a lot of credit. Not in my opinion. So for me, I'd put Dwayne Wade, and again, Dwayne Wade had 37 points per game in the finals, came back from an 0-2 deficit to beat the Heat down, and they had a good team. Beat the Mavericks down. And despite all the nonsense that's come from him after that, with joining with the Heat team up and everything, I still can't take that away from him, man. That was impressive. And it's more impressive than anything I've ever seen from Kevin Durant or Kevin Garnett. So for me, I would actually put Dirk over Giannis and Nikola Jokic for now, personally. Dirk's got 22,000 points. So I don't only go by accolades. I don't only go by MVPs and stuff like that. But when the dust has settled, he has the same amount of MVPs in the finals as those two guys. And, they have more regular season MVPs. But ultimately, Dirk is like, what, 6th in points? He's done a lot. So for now, I would still put Dirk over Joker and I would still put him over Joker and Giannis. So realistically, I would have Dirk at like 7. Move Giannis. I would have Dirk at 7. I'd put Joker at 8. Giannis 9. 10. Garnett. 11. I'd have Durant. And then Chris Paul and Kawhi is fine. I don't really care where you put them, you know. And Kawhi is a funny one because Kawhi has more rings than a lot of people on this list, actually. However, when does he play? When does he freaking play? Basically, never. Never. So, my final list, if I was doing it today for myself personally, what I would do is I would have Kobe, then Tim at 2. 3 would be either Shaq or Steph. I'm more inclined to say Shaq for now. So I would say 1, Kobe, 2, Duncan, 3, Shaq, 4, Steph, 5, Bron, 6, Dirk, 7, Joker, 8, Giannis. No. Wait. Yeah. 8 Giannis, 9 Wade. I'd put Garnett at 10, Durant at 11, and Chris Paul at 12 and Kawhi Leonard at 13. And that would be my list. You know, that would be my list. And you may say, oh, you're biased because of Kobe Bryant. Look, man, 5 rings. 5 rings, 2 losses, no super teams, has accolades, doesn't have the best accolades per se, depending on what you're looking at. You know, he has some things that, you know, that he did that are in the record books. And they're things that other guys on this list have not done. But if you're going to look at the main counting stats, then yeah, you're going to look at the LeBron and the Joker more so than and Giannis more so than anybody else on this list. They're going to be at the top of that every time. But to me, there's more to the game than just those things. And triple doubles don't win you championships. Historically, they don't. Kobe style does. Tim Duncan style does. Right? Steph Curry style somehow does. And Shaq, I won't say Shaq style wins championships. No offense, Big Aristotle, Big Diesel. But you've managed to get yourself next to some guys that have helped you, you know, surpass some of the flaws that you have. And to me, I would say Shaq and LeBron are similar in that they both are amazing freaks of nature. Like, not really a lot you could do with them. And same thing with Kevin Durant. Freaks in their own ways. But they needed somebody else to pair with, or others to pair with, that were elite like them, to put them over the hump for various reasons. So what do you think? What do you think about my list? Right? Or both lists. What do you think about CBS list? Right? And then also, what do you think about my list that I just came up with? And again, my list, I'll make sure. Well, I'll put my list up so you can see it in the comment section, so that you can see it. But what do you think about both of the lists? Is their list better than mine? Is my list better than theirs? You let me know. Let me know what you think. But I'm gonna call it a night with this video right here. Thank you very much for your time. I truly appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our glorious content. You also want to make sure that you hang on towards the end of this video because we have some other suggested videos in the playlist that we know you'll love. And then lastly, please make sure you hang on and comment, because I will reply. Ball is life. I will make sure that I comment. All right? And I love to have conversations. Like I said, I do this for the love of the conversation. I love sports. and I like to talk about it. So, with that said, thank you very much for your time. Truly appreciate you for listening this long. Very thankful, very humble. Much love. That somehow you're never